up with it? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. Back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Before I get this video started, let me give a shout out to several of the brothers in the LDBC Lions Den basketball community. First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to Tilraw for TV. If you haven't subbed to Raw for TV, definitely go sub to all of his channels. He has multiple channels, multiple platforms. Historian at the highest degree and one of the pillars in the LDBC. Also want to give a shout out to Ticket TV and Pro Basketball Updates too as well. He is responsible for what a lot of the platforms that you see now that try to do what he does or whatever, but it's nothing like the original. And he's one of the generals in the LDBC community as well. I had to give a shout out to both of those brothers because they were the first ones that I saw that were instrumental in touching on this topic. Now, make no mistake about it, okay? I've always been critical of both of these guys, okay? And we all know the situation. We all know that Lebron was telling Coach K pretty much that he needed to fix that motherfucker, so to speak, and talking in reference to Kobe, because during the summer when Kobe was shooting, taking ill-advised shots, a lot of the teammates, but mainly, LeBron was saying that he was being selfish, and pretty much this is what it said. It said over time, Kobe felt reinvigorated by the unique challenge before him. He had been a pro for 10 years and appreciated the fact that Coach K was motivating him in a way that had nothing to do with money, but standards are standards. And suddenly, on the night of August 5th, 2008, Bryant wasn't meeting Team USA's. He took a few loose shots in the second half against Australia, enough to draw the attention of the teammates. The U.S. won 87-76, but looked exceedingly beatable in doing so. The Americans were eager to get on with the Olympic tournament, and Kobe apparently board seemed to be increasing the degree of difficulty on some attempts. Quote, everyone knew it, says one team staffer. They continued on. They said, quote, they know when another player is being selfish. Players can police themselves. But in this instance, as LeBron was coming out of the game, he said, yo, coach, you better fix that motherfucker. As he walked by, he was talking about Kobe, end quote. Look, let's slice this in several different ways. Okay. What's up with it? What's up with it, Herman? I see you in the building, brother. Memphis always representing it. Now, check this out. Okay. First and foremost, did LeBron have a point? Yeah, he had a point. I can understand where he's coming from. However, what's up, Swoop Cage? I see you in the building. However, that's where I have always
been critical of LeBron in terms of being a leader. All right. Now, I want y'all guys to take something into account because I'm not going to harp on this too long, but I'm going to pack everything into a conglomerate to tell you what I think about the situation and also what is known and also what is facts. All right. Now, this is something that I don't think a lot of people paid attention to at the start of that 2008 Beijing Olympic team, which featured some of the greats on there: D Wade, Carmelo Anthony, you name it, Jason Kidd, Dwight Howard at that time. You know, uh, CP3. Everybody was on that team, right? Kobe Bryant had already came out, and it makes you wonder: did the falling out, or should I say, the concern from Coach K, him pointing out Kobe's mistakes and everything, did that have to do with Kobe pretty much saying that, okay, you know what I'm going to focus on? I'm going to focus on defense. I'm going to focus on facilitating the ball, and I'm going to focus on everything else, the intangibles, besides just shooting first. You got to go back and say that. And it's probably not in those words, but Kobe pretty much said he was all about defense. And also, what's up with it, Matt? I see you in the building. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the boy, Matt Moses. And also, Kobe was willing to take a playmaker role. Okay. Now, he made up for it in the end. And that's why I said, he was able to get the last laugh and he was able to teach the young LeBron a lesson, you know. Now, what Kobe was pretty much was saying to LeBron and to everybody else is that, look, if you need me to be a defender, I can be a defender. If you need me to be a playmaker, I could be a playmaker. If you need me to do what's necessary for the betterment of the team, whether it's rebounding, diving on the floor, hustling, which is what he did, he can do that. Now, if you go back and you go look at that game, go back and I'm talking specifically in the Spain game for all the marbles, for the gold, not for the bronze, not for the silver, for the gold, which is what they played for. They were the redeemed team because if you remember, a few years prior, we got our asses whooped by the likes of Argentina, right? Now, think about it. Yes, D Wade, he led in scoring. We know that. We know that. But if you go back and you go look at that game, guess who led in total assists? It was Kobe Bryant, right? Didn't even wasn't even while he was focused on everything else, the defensive side of the ball, uh, uh, locking up several of the perimeter players during that time because Spain, they were a go charge team. You got to remember they had Rudy on there. They had a couple of guys on there that, of course, played in the league, especially the bigs. When you talk about the Gasol brothers on that squad, all right. Kobe was willing to defend all of them because he was guarding a combination of Rudy Fernandez and Juan Carlos Navarro. Those guys are Speedy Gonzalez. Those guys could go. Now, Kobe, 20 points, 6 assists, 2 blocks. I mean, and shot 50% from the field, and also 3 of 8 from 3 pointers. Okay, now the reason why you're like, okay, well, what did he do that was so impactful? What was impactful is that when they started to get close, because you specifically remember that they started to let it because we came in, we were up like by 11 points or something like that, and then they started to lead the charge. They were being aggressive, feisty, and everything. and Spain was really trying to hang with them. They got up and they started to get within reach, but it was Kobe that was doing a combination of defense. Okay, didn't have any steals, but he did have blocks. He was doing playmaking because he was dishing to guys such as Carmelo Anthony. If I distinctly remember, and he was dishing to guys, Howard was in there at that time. And on top of that, he had the ability, hey, I could score two to lead the charge to get us to where we need to get us to that promised land. So in the end, Kobe Bryant was able to get that last laugh. He was able to get that last laugh. Now, not just a laugh, but he was also teaching LeBron a lesson too. He's like, look, I could do anything that you need me to do if it is for the betterment of the team. He respected Coach K enough to say, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Any other coach, he probably would have bumped heads with. He bumped heads with Phil Jackson, right? He's bumped heads with Dale Harris, right? But with Coach K, guess what he said? All right, I got it, Coach. Because think about it, Kobe Bryant wanted to play for Coach K. He was at the top of his list if he had ever went to high school. But a lot of y'all don't understand that. A lot of y'all go with the rhetoric of making this a situation where, oh, okay, well, uh, you know, you see why Kobe was so selfish. You see, ah ha ha ha. Then they want to put LeBron one up or something like that. That's not this type of situation, and I'm not going to make it that type of situation. Yes, could he have showed better leadership? Absolutely. And that's why you could never put him. That's one of the reasons why you could never put him in a class of some of the other greats in terms of that. Now, some people still see him as a leader. Maybe he didn't lead like Kobe. Maybe he didn't lead like MJ. Maybe he didn't lead like a Larry Bird, like a Magic, or any of that. But knowing the Kobe Bryant, knowing the Mamba, knowing the MJ, knowing the Larry, knowing the Magic, everything like that. If you go back and you look at that '92 Dream Team, they challenged each other. Magic Johnson said, "Oh no, Carl, you got to get him. Oh, hell no, you got to do this." They were all going at each other. Even MJ and MJ talking about Magic Johnson, talking about Michael Jordan. They all went at each other, and they all challenged each other to their face. Now we can sit up here. We can make this a Kobe versus LeBron debate and all this other stuff. That's that's pointless because people are going to have their opinions regardless. But in this case right here, Kobe checkmated everybody on this, and he was able to show everybody, look, because he didn't even lead the team in scoring, right? He didn't even lead the team in scoring. People have to understand that. So he took a step back. He said, you know what? Nah, but you know what? They did have to say about Kobe. It was his work ethic. Even with him being in the league as long as he had been, he was still getting up, motivating everybody to get up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, lifting weights, running, doing everything, and he still inspired the team because they knew what type of savage Kobe was, even at that age. But we can sit up here all day and talk about, oh yeah, he should have, you know, uh, should have did this, or he should have not shot the ball that much. Look, it happens with a lot of teams. If you ever been in a team like structure, there are guys that are gonna bump heads, especially when you have ego. But in this case right here, yes, he should have went to his face. They should have talked about it man to man, which uh, you know, we're not around them 24/7, 365 or anything. But I'm quite sure the conversation has came up. But at the end of the day, they were still able to accomplish something, that they weren't able to a couple years prior. right? So at the end of the day, we know who got the last laugh. We know who was able to get that edge. We know who was able to take them to the top. Did LeBron do his thing? Absolutely, he did his thing. He did his thing. Not going to take anything away from LeBron. Not going to shit on him. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said yesterday, that's not what I do. LeBron did have, his 14 three assists and three steals and everything. It did his thing, but it was a combination of everybody else. Because guess who had the same? Guess who was up there and scoring too? It was a combination of CP3. But guess who had more assists? It was Kobe Bryant. Of course, he played a little bit more and everything, but nevertheless, you can't deny the fact that Kobe Bryant was able to come in. Kobe Bryant was able to be a facilitator. Kobe Bryant was able to be a defender. Kobe Bryant was able to do something that had always been a stigma on him about what he could not do, what was necessary for the betterment of the team. What's up with it, number one grinder? Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the homie JT in the building. Number one grinder, aka underrated Dark Sean. I see you in the building. You said that was pretentious on Brown's part. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, and see, the thing about it is, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about this, I'm gonna send the link so y'all could get in. You said LeBron fans are the worst. Well, Herm, they listen. Um, I know how to take the feelings out of. I know how to be objective, right? Do I respect LeBron? Yeah, absolutely. Is he one of the greatest players of all time? Yeah, he is. But I have been critical of his leadership, and that's why when he did what he did at that press conference, in terms of saying, "Oh, are we on their level?" and all this other stuff, got to call it out. But if you're getting sensitive to that fact, hey, you can't get mad at somebody for peeling the layers. There was a lot of stuff about Kobe that I was critical about. Him being triple team, still shooting the ball, right? Him pulling up in transition when he didn't need to. There was a lot of stuff in Kobe's game, as well as MJ. I'm like, he could have worked on his ball handling a little bit better in order to progress. Punching Steve Kerr in the face, and all that other stuff. I didn't agree with that, but he did it, and there's nothing that we could do about it.
Yo,
Sean, what's up, man?
man. I mean, I'm not surprised with what LeBron James had did. It just shows you how much more of a pretentious, passive aggressive individual he is. But I'm not gonna now. I'm like one of the I'm a big time Kobe fan. I know Kobe got criticism in his game. You know what I mean? There's certain decisions that I wish he could have actually did better. But that's not the point, though. You know what I mean? If you're a top three player or you're among the top three players of that decade or that era, you should have like you have the authority or the respect to criticize a nerd top three player who's not doing great. You know what I mean at their job. You know what I mean. LeBron could have actually said that to Kobe's face, and instead that he act like a peon and talk to Coach K, which I pretty much say that I just disagree about that.
Right. Well, just to piggyback off of what you said, Grinder, I'm gonna let you go in just a second, but I'm gonna let Sean finish up his statement. Look, I'm with you on that. Now, was he as accomplished as Kobe? Of course not. Kobe had already, you saw you saw his resume and everything. And even though LeBron had went in there and he had made it, to the finals, whatever, against San Antonio and everything, you know what I'm saying? He still had enough cachet to come up there and say, okay, look, hey, you shooting the ball a little bit too much. And see, that's the thing. That's one of the things that I had criticized LeBron about was his leadership. Nothing to do with his play or anything like that.
He
Regardless,
is no leader, man.
it's about
He
his.
is a
It's
he
about.
is a fall.
It's about his. It's about his mentality. His mentality is not of an MJ. His mentality is not of a Kobe. His mentality is not of a Bird. You know what I'm saying? So people can't expect that from him. Go ahead, man. You still there, brother?
I'm right here. I thought the brother was talking. I didn't want to,
Yeah, I was talking to Sean. Are you you can finish on, Sean, and then I'll let
Oh,
Grind go.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, no, you
Um,
good.
like
Piggyback.
why I'm gonna just like I'm just my final word about this is that I mean like again the Olympics the U.S. team has been wanting to get Kobe in the Olymp like wanted to get Kobe in the U.S. team since '04. If it wasn't for that incident over in Colorado, Kobe would have got over there, and it would have changed that narrative about the redemption squad because the squad is already there. You just that you have Iverson and you have these other guys that are a little bit older, but you have a Kobe Bryant is prime and doesn't have like that only concentrate on the game. You know what I mean? You could go and gold like that way too. But since they did, they actually made this, the hype about it because LeBron, you know, has gained more experience or got more hype of, how the way the media is doing it with Dwayne and even with Kobe. It just make it to some type of like spectacle. You know what I mean? Similar like what you see like in wrestling shit. But yeah, man, like
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Oh, last on Super Bowl. My bad, Sean. Go
and that's the bottom line. Cause Coco said so.
WWE. That's what JT was talking about. I think he was talking about it a few days ago. Yeah, everything it's already predictable. It's not parody.
Yeah, and also but yeah, man, like this is why I don't put LeBron James among the greats. I don't care about his stat sheet. You know what I mean? Most of these fans and these analysts always concentrate in numbers. Look at his games. The dude scored over 30 points while no impact. Fuck about his records. His records don't mean a goddamn thing to me, man. It's just like everybody's overhyping the entirety of this bull BS scenario about him having this resume. Do I think he has the? I think that the numbers are great, but that does not mean nothing. Like, okay, you put more numbers on that Charger, it's still gonna get beaten by an RS7. It's still gonna get beaten by like a freaking Tesla. It doesn't really matter about if you put so much numbers on that. Numbers don't mean a goddamn thing if the real life if performance in real life isn't going to equal to that, man. But yeah, man, like LeBron, he is a passive aggressive individual. Like I always think, I think the Laker Nation, like as a Laker fan, I'm gonna be continually going against his ass until he got traded, and that's
Or
all I got to say.
you a Lake Show fan?
I'm a Laker fan.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I forgot about
all
that.
my
We
I
we we,
went harder. Hey
we
man, you know me. You saw me in the comments over the tickets,
yeah yeah
ticket streams, man. I
we
go extremely
talk.
hard because my team sucks, man. My team sucks. Like I go hard on the Lakers because I love the Lakers, but we suck. I mean, shit, it is what it is. We suck so bad, we make the Knicks look good, bro.
Ooh, speaking of Nick, oh, JT up in here.
hey,
I'm
don't talk.
Oh,
sorry, shout out to my New Yorkers, but
that was the right word to say. Here we go, JT.
No, no,
hey,
no,
shout
no.
out to my New Yorkers, but I'm just saying, like my team, I heavily criticize the Lakers for years because I love them that much, but we
Right.
suck. So I'm not gonna be kissing. I'm not gonna be kissing up and be like Elder who be trying to make these narratives and try having these imaginary insiders. I'm gonna be telling the truth. Yeah, we suck. We old. We
Uh,
are slow time. All the above. And
well,
LeBron James need to shave that shit off his head, man. Motherfucker, you 37. No one cares if you bald.
right. But I try to separate that. You know what I'm saying? And then shout out to Elder man. He's just a hardcore, diehard Lakers fan. trying to keep
I can feel him, but he is
I,
extremely ignorant,
hold,
man.
hold on one thing. I think he's trying to keep some optimism, like a lot of other guys. Like me, I'm trying to be optimistic with Philly in this James Harden scenario, Sean. I don't want him here, and Grinder knows how I feel about
I
that.
feel you, man.
I,
The same way you feel about James Harden, it's the same way I feel like LeBron. I never want LeBron to be over here. Never. I want
right.
Kawhi Leonard. I was hyped when Kawhi Leonard come to LA. I'm like, man, we're about to get Kawhi. This is about to be good. Until this guy showed up. My smile went upside down, man, real fast. I'm like, this motherfucker, man.
Well, Kawhi, man, he needs to stay on the goddamn floor, just like AD needs to stay on the goddamn floor, just like PG needs to stay on the
Man,
goddamn
Kawhi Leonard got injuries. He got real injuries. AD,
floor.
the
Right,
dude is made of stick and stones.
right. But
No bones, stick and
the best,
stones.
right, the best ability is availability, and why everybody shits on Westbrook. You know how many games have he missed compared to AD, but they love and lard over him. Let me go ahead
Bro,
and let
they use Westbrook. They always use Westbrook every single time when they know from the fact every single game is LeBron James' fault. I watch the entirety of the games. People don't watch games anymore. All they care about is the numbers. Oh, LeBron James scored 35 points. You see that? Efficiency. No, it's not. He jacked over 40, 24 fucking shots just in order to get 35 points.
right, right. Hey, Sean, let the homie Grinder cook because I know
Yeah,
he's
it's
going.
all good, man. I'm sorry, man.
No. It's all right. No. I feel you where you coming from. You stay on him. No, we gonna get into it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Speak your piece on the situation, and after that, it's a free for all.
LeBron's a backstabber motherfucker, man. What's the surprise? The ABA gave him a gift for over a decade and a half, and he still didn't cash in. 4 and 6. He never worked on his total game. He always got to be ball hawk. He don't have a killer instinct, and he always get players that he can boss around. You ask him to post down low, he don't want to do that. But just understand this: you got what you want, LeBron, and look what happens coming back right back to bite you. The truth, you can never run from the truth, LeBron. Right? When people just, oh yeah, he's better than Jerry West. Oh, he's better than Oscar Robertson. You have to be kidding me, right? He would have just a little Carmelo Anthony killer instinct. Ain't what tell him he don't have that. We ain't talking about the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. Snake. He's a Benedict Arnold. He's useless. Throughout the years, he run out on his teams that he was on. But he should be respected for what? That's all I gotta say, man. You got it. That's all. For now.
Man, nigga, you sound like you about to throw up over there,
Nah, man. I'm top, man.
don't it? However, you and Shy, y'all sound like y'all need a nurse talking about LeBron. But
Tiredly, man. You know what I'm saying? Was he want a bib or something, man? You want a bottle?
he sound worse. He sound worse than talking about the Knicks. Sean was on point about that though, man. Like them Knicks fans and as well as them LA fans, man, you are gonna get it. They're not gonna let you get away with no mediocrity.
Bruh, man, we suck. I don't care about bruh. Okay, don't forget about social media, man. Social media does not represent real life because in real life, like life as far as like real time, people are extremely angry about the Lakers. They are. And the only reason why people are buying those tickets is that pretty much you're more of a LeBron fan than a Laker fan. Most Laker fans ain't going over there nowhere to watch that shit. Like, come on, man.
And you know what trips me out, Sean and JT? You brought up a good ass point, bro. Look, you'll be like, yeah, hey, are you a Lakers fan? Oh, no, no, man. I'm just here for LeBron. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't no Lakers fan. The fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Oh no, I'm just here for this dude. I'm just here for that. Nah, then
Right.
you're not a real
So this
Lakers
is what I'm saying. So they LeBron fans, you shouldn't critique of the team then. You shouldn't have that right.
Shouldn't be wearing that jersey either. You just wear, you
Yeah.
could wear some other shit, and also to watch the game. But
Man, he need to wear Space Jam jersey, man. He loves Space Jam.
man, this is also the funny part. That Space Jam shit. This dude didn't even win a championship after he did that Space Jam movie. That is the most funniest shit, man. How you do Space Jam and you can't even win a championship? Jordan did. Oh wait, you ain't Jordan.
He's not.
Old man Braun. Word to Carcina.
yeah, but listen, like I said, man, a lot of niggas they get mad because I don't look. I'm gonna let you know something now, Sean, and as well as JT. If people are looking for me to get on here and just destroy LeBron every single day, listen, I like to talk about other shit. Like me and JT, we could have an hour long conversation about the Knicks, right? Or me and Sean, I could talk about the history of the Lakers. Like earlier, I wasn't talking about LeBron. I wasn't talking about Kobe. I wasn't talking about Jordan. I was talking about somebody that they don't talk about. Motherfucking Michael Cooper, Hall of Fame nominee. That's what I do over here. You know what I'm saying? We give credit to what credit's due. Let's talk about Anthony Simon, what the fuck he's doing, and the big turnaround along with him and Chauncey over there in Portland. Talk about some of these young guns like the motherfucking John Morant who willingly to able to go to a Knicks garden and don't give a fuck and still bring that savage like mentality. Let's talk about shit like that.
I feel you. I really, I feel you on that one, man. Like
Man,
What's
salute to
you gonna have to
everybody,
come
man.
true.
up
Salute
with
to
it,
you,
man?
Polo.
What's up with it, Herman? Where you been, bro?
Man,
Oh,
been
nah, nah,
grinding.
man, nothing, nigga, man. You don't even fuck with your boy no more, man. You know, hey, look, I'm gonna call Herman out on that shit, man. For the South, representing all day, Memphis. Ain't bringing niggas no ribs, no baked beans, no tater
I
salad. Nah,
deserve, I deserve it, man. I deserve.
nigga, you ain't bring me no slab. What's up?
Yeah, man. Like this, what I hate, Polo. This what I really hate a lot, bro. When everybody be trying to discredit for all these all time greats that play the game. What's wrong with giving everybody that just do? All everybody do around these platforms, content creators, all they do is try to pick apart somebody and make somebody look bad just to elevate the other. It's getting played out, bro. I want to be able to enjoy the last few years of LeBron, even though I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan. But I know that nigga great in his own right.
Yeah,
So I
he's
don't
great
have
at
to
stat
diss that
pattern.
man to make another man look good. And how these dudes disrespect the Kobe Bean Bryant. They want to bring up snitching shit with Shaq. They want to bring up all these other things. You want to bring up head to head, but you ain't got no context when they went head to head. LeBron had ample opportunities to face Kobe on the big stage and ain't get it done. Kobe made it to three straight finals. Oh 08, oh 09, oh 10. LeBron didn't make it out to one. So why you guys don't talk about that? We could have saw the Kobe versus LeBron and that shit would have been laid to rest about who's better between the two. But you guys want to use regular season head to head matches to determine that LeBron always got the best of Kobe. If that the case, Kawhi Leonard always get the
Because
best of
I'm
LeBron.
sorry.
If that the case, Steph Curry always get the best of LeBron. If that the case, Andre Iguodala always get the best of LeBron. Cause head to heads, shit, they got winning records. but we don't put it in context of why they got those winning records. I'm just tired of the dissing all the time and talking about these great players and take it away from one. And I'm just tired of other content creators trying to go at one because somebody has an opinion that you don't agree with. Like how they disrespected our big homie Ticket Polo. That's crazy, man. Y'all want to call him the Black Skip Bayless? Put a name on it. If you go call somebody out, put the name on
Right. Well, you know what? You know the best thing about that, and the best thing about the LDBC Herman and Sean is that guess what? They don't give a fuck.
it.
Listen,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah,
think, man, this is a Shark Tank. This is a Piranha Tank. However, look, I'm not afraid to say that LeBron is one of the greats. Do I have him in my top five? Hell no. But
yeah,
for what he's done to the game, hey, that's great. It's significant. I look beyond the numbers. I look what he done in terms of the game. Not too many people can score 25 on their first game as a rookie and come in with that amount of pressure. He's been under the spotlight since he's been in high school. Oh yeah, I get all of that. However, you are going to get critiqued, just like Jordan is going to get critiqued. You was on one of the streams too, Herman, when I critiqued Jordan. Listen, everybody can get it. The best thing about these niggas that I'm on the platform with right now, when we talk about Sean, when we talk about motherfuckers Memphis or AKA Herman's buddy, listen, these motherfuckers is objective than a motherfucker. And that's how I'm going to keep it.
yeah. We go hold everybody to the high standard. We go hold everybody accountable. Like a lot of people thought you were crazy about when you say Isaiah is better than Magic Johnson. But when you brought up those points of critique, why?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's hard to argue that shit. It's actually hard to argue that. And you swung, and I ain't gonna lie, Polo, you swung me to when I really looked at it, I was like, damn, Polo got a point.
Right, because if you take away all those Hall of Famers that Magic Johnson, yeah, would he? I'm not saying that he wouldn't have been as successful, but look who's about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Cooper, one of the
Yep.
elite, and he set the standards for one of the elite 3 and D guys, and made it cool to be a 3 and D guy. And now, what you see, look at the innovation that happened. Then you have Kareem. I mean, he came in with Kareem. Kareem was already on the team. Then you got to talk about Worthy, who nobody gives credit to, a 6'10" guy, and I don't think people realize how athletic Worthy was to catch
A
that.
monster.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got guys like that in comparison to a Bill Laimbeer, in comparison to a young Dennis Rodman, in comparison to just a Joe Dumars in the backcourt, I mean, damn, Isaiah did more with less.
Yep. And at first I was like, man, Polo tripping. But when I actually thought about it and I looked deep into it, I was like, damn, he right. So I think guys got to be more open to listen, comprehend what somebody's saying before you jump the gun and get all emotional because someone not agreeing with the narrative that you want to create, agreeing with whatever you feel is right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be open to anything. If someone was critiquing Michael Jordan and I ain't never looked at it like that, and I actually see like, damn, this person got a good point. Shit, I'll admit that this person was right about Michael Jordan, even though I believe he the goat. But I'm not gonna be not open to listen to what somebody really saying. Like these dudes get emotional for no reason, man, and it's sad. And then y'all disrespected a dead man at that.
Man, like as a what I mean, like usually as a Kobe Bryant fan, I really don't really care because usually, what I mean, Kobe always get hate all the time. Now, and also, but other than that, yeah, I agree, man. Like we have to give kudos to other all time great players, especially the ones that we actually we probably have to we probably look at as underrated of today. So but yeah, I mean, shit. The media were always going to be the media. The fans were always going to be the fans, and that's just how it is. Unfortunately,
What's up with it, Young? I see you in the building.
Mm. Yo, what up, Polo? Mm.
Yeah, salute to you, young.
Mm.
salute, young.
What you got on this? I already know you about to go ahead and put that savage shit down.
Uh, how I feel about it? I was kind of, I was kind of like, it was kind of like, huh? But I already knew it wasn't it wasn't surprising. Because that was for what he for how he reacted, what he said. Because my thing is for LeBron is was he didn't keep the same energy. Because when Kobe was at the top of his game, he was very quiet. Because when Kobe retired through, he was laughing at the ideas of Kobe being better than him. That was coward to me. But talk that when you get on the court, when you get on court with him, you could have, because that year, 2009, you could have went 1-on-1 in the finals, but you didn't. And I feel like that was that's how I feel. But I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised about what Coach K said. What Coach K said, because um, but people don't know that. Yeah, okay, yeah, he took some bad shots, but he was he took on the best scores on the opposite team. So Kobe took the criticism like a man, and the team dominated. Because you name me one thing, Kobe never has never lost in a Olympic game.
Yeah.
And so if LeBron would have should have been a man, you should have spoke to Kobe. If you want to be again in the league, you should have spoke to him, but you didn't. But you didn't. That was a problem. And LeBron always had this passion, aggressive when dealing with other star players in the league. You know,
That's
with
fact.
with
That's
Ky-
fact. Sean
with,
said the same exact thing. That's fact.
yeah, with
You on
Ky-
point.
with Kyrie, with Kobe, with KD, Steph. Like the list goes on of him going against people that plays aggressively on a team that he's going against, or the player that he's teammates with. And it just to show you right there what Coach K said. It shows you how coachable Kobe was. Because after being told once by Coach K, he changed it up. LeBron, on the other side, he was never coachable though. He never heard to the system, because he is the system, and that's the part of the reason team struggle after he leaves. So he always been that way. The man doesn't listen to coach. In some instance, actively agonize him, not only by knowing his plays but doing the exact opposite. I don't know how many times. Because LeBron don't listen to coaches like Mike Brown, David Blatt, Lou Walton, um, Simons, Phil Silas, Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley. You know, list just goes on. List just goes on. And 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 seeing that, like what the guy says, like, man, Kobe always get this hate when he was on Earth, and then Kobe always get this hate after he left Earth. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising because even after he's long gone, it, people always gonna shout at his memories. Not just only fans, but it's only NBA players and legends. They always gonna be disrespectful. Disrespectful. Um, that's what that's what I felt about that. I wasn't surprised.
That's well said, man. And we know you being a Kobe fan, man. You know, I know that listen, like I said, he got the last laugh, and not only did he get the last laugh, he was able to teach everybody a lesson. Not just LeBron, he was able to teach all them other guys a lesson about sacrifice. Just look at that. He led the team in assists that game. Not for the silver, not for the bronze, for the gold, right? Led the team in assists. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, was able to play tremendous defense on those exterior guards that were out there for space. Had two blocks. Matter of fact, he led the team in blocks, but they don't talk about that shit, right?
Hmm.
It was his
Hmm.
Yep.
playmaking. It was his playmaking, and his scoring down the stretch. Oh, now you, oh now oh you didn't want to shoot there. But when you need somebody to take it care of, when you need somebody to seal the deal, you call on that Mamba.
Right. Right. Um, it just like you see, like you said, and like you said, NBA players. You tell me, like I tell you, like 9 out of 10, people players gonna be like, I know players and people they'll be like, oh, this guy plays like Kobe more than plays like LeBron. You never heard nobody said, oh, he plays just like LeBron. You hear people like, oh, he plays like Kobe because Kobe's work ethic in his work ethic and it had inspired other players than how LeBron did. And that's why I always say that Kobe's like legacy is more longer and more farther than Ron was. And and it just like I said, it's crazy because um it's that a guy that's been on a three different super team and still have four to Kobe's five. That's why I understand Post and get the last laugh. But is which he spent on the Lakers his tired 20 years of career. But you gotta respect that. Like he could have gone. He could have left and just gone. Could have told Jerry Buster Genie, I'm out. But no, he didn't. That man stayed on that team for 20 years and got them championships. You can't do nothing. You can't. You gotta respect that. For what he done, for when he done for the game of basketball. Then LeBron did, and seeing that, um, that was that was kind of to me. That was kind of a hypocrite move to me, because you're telling the coaches all he should have done that, but when coaches tell you to do something, you didn't want to do it, but you're telling this man, like one of the best college coaches of all time, is telling is you telling him to fix that move to Kobe. That's a hypocrite. I mean, that was like a hypocrite move, and didn't really respect that. But hey, but it's not surprising. It's not surprising to us because that's his mo. That's Braun's mo. He's gonna go after if NBA player get more notoriety than him, get more superstar than him, or even went to the finals and beat him, he's gonna hate on you. He's gonna get jealous. He's gonna get hate on you, and that's just how he is. And seeing that, Kobe ain't surprising to me. He don't like Kobe. He never did. He never did respect Kobe. Mm.
Y'all boys still there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Y'all could cook, man. If y'all,
Oh okay.
I was
But
yeah.
saying,
I
brother,
mean,
brother, like what this and this. Go
yeah, I
ahead.
said like majority of what I had to say about this. Like LeBron, he will never gonna have that experience when it comes to like being loved and like being loved by a franchise of that type of caliber, like Kobe. Like no matter what he does, no matter how many records he actually break, they will never like him like that, man. Pretty much the closest thing you got is Cleveland, but you only gave Cleveland one championship. You did not made them into a dynasty, so I mean, they probably might see you fit as like replaceable once another player or other players is going to come over there and win more championships or do things that you never have did. But that's just my thing, I could care less. Like, I hope my Lakers, just like give up on this season, or or just give up entirely until you guys trade this guy, or trade, stick and stones, AD, or
Look, I got to I got to disagree with you on that, Sean. Nah, man, fuck all that. Listen, Sean. Listen. Them, if anything, listen. Let me ask you something, Sean. Let me ask you something. Okay.
I'm hearing you, man.
All right. Let me ask you something. Now, if let's say y'all go on the stretch. Now, we could criticize LeBron, Westbrook, all we want to, but guess what? Everybody's talking about 60% is Westbrook for all this other stuff. Hey, you got to throw motherfucking AD in there, a guy who could barely stand up at this stage of the game. You know what I'm saying, Herman? So you got Portland making a push. You got all these other teams in the West that are prominent right now. Phoenix, shit, can't say enough about that. They've been blowing people out of the water. If y'all make a push and y'all surge after this All Star break, because as I told Young in the last stream, Sean, I said what I would be doing. Let's say it's me and you, Sean, and we've been getting butter criticism. We over here, the media won't stop talking about the negative about us. Look, if I'm LeBron, I'm in the gym. If I'm Westbrook, I'm in the gym. I would say AD, but damn, you probably can't even stand up in that motherfucker. Look, you can go ahead and you can make a push, and then guess what? You can make a fight. Did you see that happen in the shot or not?
Hey, hey, Polo. I mean, I hear you all that, but here's the thing, though. We live in a different era. This is not, what I mean, I like for most part, unless you're talking about guys who's in it to win it, like John Morant or or what other guy could mention
No,
of like
Giannis, you know what I'm saying? Come
yeah,
on,
Giannis, yeah,
come
especially Giannis. Other than those guys, I don't expect LeBron James, AD, and Westbrook is going to work out and try and make like a 20 game streak until like by the time of the playoffs. They're not going to do that. They're not those type of guys.
I believe Austin Reeves is if they give that motherfucker a chance.
Austin Reeves, that's pretty much my favorite out of all the Lakers right now. Austin Reeves. If they could player develop Austin Reeves for next and also put him as starter for next season, that'll make it better. But honestly, it has been such a shit show that I don't think it's gonna be fixed. The only reason at best we could do a 20 game run, and all they're gonna do is gonna give all the credit to LeBron James for motivating the team. When in fact that it's the other players that motivate themselves because they want to win, not because of gassing up one player ego. But they're not gonna do that. They're not those type of guys. AD, he's very he he is satisfied with his only one championship. The dude is soft. He has been lazy. I don't know. It must be his wife or something. You know what I mean? Shit. I don't know. It makes him even more soft, which I don't know, but other than that, though, the dude has been looking like a slender bitch for the past over 60 games. I never even thought the AD is gonna be acting like that shit. Like damn, AD. Like at the first year you came over here, you was like dominating on motherfuckers and all that shit. Nah, since last year you have been garbage. So
But
so
but
yeah, I
you
don't expect that in this era.
but you knew what you were getting. Like I told Young and Herman knows this too. You knew what you were getting from New Orleans. You knew you were getting damaged goods. Now, I to your point though, Sean, I will say this. What's up with it? Wait, what? I see you in the building. Now, to your point, okay. Yeah, he when he first came, it was like, damn, okay, this shit could work. Then in the finals or whatever, hey, one could argue that he was playing at an MVP level up until that injury. Now you mentioned Elder. Now Elder did bring up a good ass point. Shout out to Elder. Okay, look, Elder did say this that okay, he hasn't fully recovered from some of those injuries that he had and stuff. So he's having to take time off, then go back. You know what I'm saying, Sean? Rehab again, like I told Young yesterday. Take time off. He's out a month, then go back. You got to remember the growing. He tried to get out there after Snoop Dogg and said he was soft and all that other shit. Guess what? He tried to,
Hey man, at this
dog.
point,
You know
at
what I'm
this
saying?
point, I at this point, all these excuses. I'm sorry.
Hold on one second.
All
What
right,
I
no
was
problem.
No, no, it's all right. I'm gonna let you get it out. What I was saying is that, yeah, you're right with the excuses. Got to cut out the bullshit and nonsense because what does it fall on, Sean? In the off season, it's very vital. Your ass got to be in there working on your strength and conditioning. We know that you got the skill, but it's a matter of your ass staying healthy. Damn, man, you need treatment as if you were fucking 50-year-old, Herman. You know what I'm saying, Sean? You need fucking 50-year-old treatment. My mom could move better than you. My grandmother, God rest her soul, could run circles around your dumb ass.
Yeah, I hear you on that, man. But like at this point, I just feel like that AD does not really care as much. You know what I mean? He's still gonna get his money. He's satisfied to gain that championship. You know what I mean? After that one championship, and plus the fact they actually put him as that top 75 list, I think he's at this point where he's satisfied.
He shouldn't be in there. Should not be in
He's
there. He should not be in there. What's up with it, Marco Hinton? I see you in the building. Texas always represent. He shouldn't be in there, Sean. You know that, and I know that, and so does Young know that. He should not be in
I
that.
mean, I know that, but I'm not the one who make this list. Majority of the times, like majority of the people who actually made these lists are Braun dick riders. They don't care about ball. They just care about the narrative that they could put in hand.
Right.
They don't
That's
care about, you know what I mean? If I was making that list will never put AD on over there. To be honest with you, I would not put Dame Lillard over in that list. But here's the thing though, that's just me. You know, for
no, no.
them, they have the official.
Look
They have the
look how
huh?
Dame is. No, I didn't mean to cut you off, Sean. No, you were right about that. Look how Dame is. Look at how they're doing good without Dame. Important. Who is this trying to come in? Oh shit! Hey, Sean, get ready for the cap alert. Hey, Young, cap alert. Here it comes.
Oh, is the
Cap alert.
capologist.
What's up, Captain? Captain Crunch in this bitch. Wait, what? What's up?
Oh shit! Is somebody else who came in before me? Yo, shout out to Captain Crunch. I don't know who that is. Cat. Who is that?
That's your nickname. You up here, Captain? What's up?
Whoa! You were saying that for me? Wow, horrible introduction. First
Yeah,
off,
yeah, yeah. You, Mr.
horrible
Captain for Ben,
introduction. I didn't even know that. Went
Mr.
right
I
over
love
my head.
Mr. Give him. Hey, Sean, give him a chance. Give him a little time. It's gonna take him 10 years to develop a jumper.
Yo, Ben
Yeah,
10 is gonna
man.
be amazing. Don't be hating. You fucked up on it, Philly, but it's cool though. We
Oh,
got
Ben Simmons.
yeah, Ben 10, nigga. You know who that is? Ben 10. That man's
Uh-huh.
amazing.
Man, you
Hey,
would never.
man, like Ben Simmons, in my unfortunately, unfortunately, Polo, I might have to agree with. I think that the Brooklyn Nets had did the best deal
They did.
I ever seen in
They did, and
in the trade deadline.
I
I have to
hated
say
it
that.
because wait, what be rubbing it in?
Now
Two
I'm just
first
saying,
rounders. I
dog.
ain't even counting on Ben Simmons.
I'm just saying, dog. Like, first off, shout out to Sean with the enlightenment of his basketball takes. He got a bright future when it comes to talking basketball. I like him. But
Right.
like I
You
said,
don't.
but anyways though, but like the fact that I think a lot of people keep confusing it as if he gonna be playing the point guard position. You're gonna put him in his true position, bro. That 4 and that 5. You gotta realize, bro.
Not his true
Have him
position.
on like that pick and roll with him and KD. Yo, kid, yo,
That's not his
talk
true
about
position.
Embiid. Listen, and what makes it so dynamic is that KD with anybody. First of all, one, the dude gonna end up you're gonna jump to KD. Second, if not, KD gonna shot. So it's like that's like an automatic clip right there too, because you're in the post. Now you got Ben Simmons cutting, and you got an Andre Drummond. First of all, you know Andre Drummond know how to pass too, so you can play with him a little bit on the offensive end if need be. But the defensive end, yo, like
That
nigga gonna
nigga
have
has
clothes.
resurged. That nigga has resurged since he been there, Sean and Young. That's like, damn, Drummond, he took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, man,
Yo,
he's in a
he had
system
a
that's balanced for him, and that's just what it
exactly.
is. And plus, the defense is absolutely increased for the Nets. So when the team is at full strength, it's over at this point, man. Unless, of
Yo,
course, talk about
like the fact,
unless the Bucks does something about it. But
yo, like check me out. The fact that people don't this too. Seth Curry is on defense. People don't realize that. That's another thing that's like added to the dynamic that people is not really catching on, or you got Kyrie who's a will defender, someone willing to try, willing to do whatever it be. You know what I'm saying? One always is either you're the greatest or you're not good at all. There's levels to defending, so I don't know why people are always just so black and white about it. You know, you're either good or bad. No, it's in between. There's gray areas, and like I said, it's all about enthusiasm of actually trying to play defense. And I think this team right now, with the hunger it needed, bro, man, this shit gonna be nuts, kid. And then like we're gonna really see what's good in the buyout market. You know what I'm saying? Like I had two, like you had two before going into the All-Star break. We're gonna have Drummond who gonna be working like hard this, you know, like as in lifting weights and just be on the bike. Cause he already said like, yo, like he said I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Cause the movement, he ain't used to it. You know what I'm saying? He was just chilling on the bench. Oh, it's my time to just sub in for Embiid. All right, 10 to 15 minutes, I'm good. Now he's
Well, that's
like a starter, so he got to get back into that. And then once he get back into the moving of what he's supposed to be doing, he gonna be more crisp. You know what I'm saying?
that's always been his problem. Remember, wait, what? And Sean and Young, when he was over there in Detroit, he would do good in the first half of the season. Even one year, he made a commitment to his conditioning, and then towards the end of the season or the second half, what would he do? He would wear down because of his condition. So that's a good point right there.
Yeah, for the simple fact that coming from Detroit, you're gonna put in the work as in what you want to do at the beginning because you high hopes in a way. You know what I'm saying? But coming here knowing that, yo, like first couple words, yo, this team, yeah, this is a championship team. So you know the drive, the hunger, the passion. You know what I'm saying? Last year he wasn't granted a good deck last year with the Lakers, especially how they try to use them was in such a wrong way that you kind of looked at him and make it seem like, oh, this nigga a clown on the court. But no, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the same thing. You can go back to McGee when he actually started playing around players like who, like Seth Curry, Kevin Durant, players that gonna feed him right. You know what I'm saying? Where he can be by himself in the lone factor. You know what I'm saying? So, like sometimes, like people just gotta sit there and realize, okay, let me go through all their game flips, not just because oh they're on this bad team, they're gonna be trash forever. No, I don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you grown men, they want to grow and they want to prosper in this NBA landscape. So like I said, bro, like dog, you don't understand how excited I am. Also, as well as I'm super, super stoked for next Friday when I see James Harden back on that court because I'm watching him for the rest of this year as well. So I'm gonna be really focused on Philly and see how they moving as well as in the Brooklyn Nets. Yo, hey, who you got winning the 3-point contest tonight, Polo? Who on the panel? Who on the panel? Y'all boys here? Yo, Scrub, hop on, man. Hop on, Scrub. Talk some ball. Unless you been.
Everybody fall out now.